So this is a critical part of understanding why Maps marketing is such a slam dunk investment, is because let's think about it, right? Let's go through a scenario that we've all probably done before. Let's say we're visiting a new town, or let's say it's Valentine's Day that's coming up and we want to take our spouse or our partner out to a restaurant. Let's open up Google Maps and search for restaurants, right? We're going to search for best restaurants. Maybe we're going to search for romantic restaurants. Maybe we're going to search for restaurants that have steak. Whatever your interest of what you're looking to eat is, you're going to start with a search that is broad, that is specifically looking for businesses in a certain area. And then you're going to start clicking on those first few results. Maybe you click an ad, or maybe you're like me and you skip the ads. So you do this search, right? You click on a business profile, and what do you do next? You maybe read the reviews, maybe you look at the pictures. Everybody's a little bit different, of course. No two users are exactly the same, but again, we're going to look at the business profile content. We're going to do things like read the reviews, like look at the pictures, maybe browse their menu, maybe call the business and ask them, hey, do you have any reservations available? Or even better yet, maybe they have a button on their listing that says book a table, and you click it and you see if they have reservations available for your date night. And again, there's a billion different scenarios where this exact same kind of sequence plays out, where you do a search, you click on the business profile, you look at them, and then maybe you're not quite convinced yet. Maybe you're not ready to book the table, or maybe you're not ready to call the business or request directions. So you go to the next profile on the list and you do the same thing. And then after you've looked at, all of your best available options, you're going to make a decision on who you're going to buy from. And probably the final step in that process, after you do some of these other interactions, is requesting a direction, walking through the door of that business, sitting down, browsing, whatever it is, and then you are going to ultimately buy something from that business. And whether that's buying it today or tomorrow is going to obviously depend on the type of business you are. But if you're a restaurant, if I'm requesting directions to your business, I'm walking through your door and I'm spending money today. If you're a kitchen contractor, maybe I'm going to buy in 2 months from now, or maybe in 3 weeks from now. But the reality is that they are high value users who have an extremely high intent to purchase, if not a commitment to purchase. In marketing, we talk all the time about intent and about signals. Well, there's no stronger signal that I am committed to making a purchase than walking through the door of your business or calling your business and asking buying questions. Of course, we can also go to your website and fill out a form. I don't want to generalize this, and I don't want to make it sound like only restaurants can succeed on Maps marketing. If you're a storefront business, the major thing that you're going to be looking for is people walking through your door, right? People through the door is money in the register, basically. If you're not a storefront business and you're a service business, maybe it's phone calls and website visits. But at the end of the day, this is something that we've all done before, where we go to a map or a Google search and we type in a keyword with a local intent, and we go to the maps and we use the business profile to make a lot of our purchase decision. And so if your business isn't thinking about it from that perspective, then you really, really need to start thinking about maps as its own marketing channel. Stop thinking of maps like it's SEO. Sure, you could call it Maps SEO by doing these things if you want, but the reality is that when you're trying to optimize your Google business profile and trying to leverage Maps marketing, the inputs are completely different than anything that you're probably doing today. The key thing to remember in thinking about how you use Maps, and the thing that I want you to really kind of marinate on, is how often are you ready to leave Maps before you make your decision? This is a fundamental part of why Maps marketing is so powerful, is because most users don't want to leave the app. They don't want to leave the search result page. As much as we want people to go to our website, consumers don't really want to do that if they don't have to, right? That's why being able to book a table on your listing is so convenient, and why Google prefers and prioritizes businesses who have those options and have those types of user engagement available to them. And so that's something to really, really consider strongly here, is simply the fact that people won't go to your website to see your specials. Not to say that they won't, but they don't want to have to do that. If you can bring that information forward to them in your business profile, through your pictures, through your videos, through your Google posts, through menus and services, the more available you make the information about your business's differentiators, value propositions, and just the products and services you sell, the more likely you are to convert them, because that's secretly what people want, is they don't want to have to go anywhere else to make their decision. And again, this doesn't only apply to of restaurants, we're talking nail salons, grocery stores, dentists, lawyers, automotive shops. I mean, the list goes on and on. And so don't sit here thinking that, oh, Maps is only for restaurants. It is for any business that has a physical location or presence in a market. And it's for this reason that people are on Maps. They search for something specific. And again, I always like to use food as an example because it's the one that I think people can relate to the most. I'm going to Google. I'm hungry. I'm not going to spend hours making a decision, right? And so the user engagement on Maps is just orders of magnitude higher than any other channel for this reason. So when you compare engagement rates on Maps versus social media as an example, what we find for even like restaurant groups is that they get over 6 times the monthly engagement on their business profiles versus their social media profiles. And that's a generous comparison for the record. Ultimately, because users don't want to have to go to another website or to open up another application to make their decision. So this is all the tip of the iceberg, obviously. If you want to get smarter about how to use Maps and how to leverage Maps as a marketing channel for your business, check out maplabs.com, sign up for a free trial, or contact us for a free audit of your business profiles, and we'll tell you exactly what we see as the opportunity for your business. But don't sleep on Maps marketing any longer. If you had a time machine and you can go back to 2004 and buy Google Ads and get traffic for 50 cents a click, you'd probably do that, right? Well, right now is the golden era of Maps marketing. Many businesses are still thinking about it. They're not focusing on it, and it presents for your business one of the best opportunities in the last decade to drive low cost traffic for an extremely high return. We have clients who are getting a 1-to-100 return on spend, meaning that for every $1 they put in, they get 100 back. If you can tell me another marketing channel that can do that, I'll eat this microphone. So if you want to get started on your Maps marketing journey today, check out maplabs.com. We are a technology-enabled services company that helps businesses form strategies and processes to take advantage of Maps marketing. Whether you're a retailer, a restaurant, a automotive chain, a healthcare company, doesn't really matter who you are. MapLabs helps businesses build strategies for this channel. But you can start your journey by checking out our website, maplabs.com. You can sign up for a free trial, but what we really love to do is to have a conversation with you and to give you some real world feedback on what you can do to take advantage of Maps marketing and to ultimately jump your business to the top of local results.